Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Fit Fam. This, as always, Miss Natural Olympia Hillary.
And this guy right here is Doug the Formulator. It's been so long, my hair has grown.
The magical, expensive shampoo. All right, so we're really excited about this episode because we're going to be talking about a couple things that are actually the key. I would say, the foundational point of the super seminar coming up, our main seminar every year, right?
Right.
And super excited because you came up with your own talk idea, but it actually is now the centerpiece for everything else. Like everyone's referring to that talk.
Oh,
And so it's really, really cool.
that is
So
cool.
I thought it'd almost be a little bit of an interview situation
Oh,
where I could
okay.
interview. Is that okay?
Yeah, I actually like that.
Where we go through some of the main points because I think for the people that can't make the super seminar, I think everyone in the world needs to hear this because I think a lot of people don't get started on their health journey because it's overwhelming.
Mhm.
And so I'm excited about how you laid this out. So tell me about the name of it first.
Okay, so what's interesting about you even saying all of that is from, I think the second you said or asked if I would speak at Super Seminar, as I like thought about the concept of speaking and what I wanted to speak about, seasons was on my brain. And it's because obviously, as a bodybuilder, seasons are really important for us, right? We have certain seasons for development in our sport, and those seasons are vital to our success on stage. So, but the more that I thought about it, the more I was like, how come? Why have I been able to maintain a level of fitness that's worked for us, for me, for my family, for my longevity, for my energy? How have I been able to maintain that? And it all kind of boiled down to, you know, the foundation of fitness that we live, but also these seasons that become almost like precisional or obsessional, but they have helped us to maintain a level of fitness that has been really important.
Yeah, and I love that because one of the things that's really unique about Hillary in her sport is she's widely recognized as someone that isn't full-time only a bodybuilder, right? That she's made it known and shown that number one, she's a wife, number two, a mother, and that nothing comes in front of those. And there's been times when I know that Hillary's gotten ready for a show, and it's more frustrating for me, 12 weeks of prep. And then all of a sudden, one of our kids, it was like a state basketball, they made the next round or volleyball, I can't remember what it was. And she like doesn't do the show. And it's like,
But
no
also,
big deal. But you had
yeah,
your priorities in order, but you still been able to be at the top of your game to, win the
yeah,
figure, Miss Olympia 5 times.
which that is very true. What you just said is true. On the flip side of that, there have had to be a lot of discussions with the kids about certain things that I would miss, that I wouldn't be there for because bodybuilding was going on. Now, were there things that I wouldn't miss because collectively we knew that would, those were way more important than
Right.
stepping on stage? Absolutely. But the kids also understood that mom makes some sacrifices here and we have to make some sacrifices here for mom's dream too.
Right.
So
Which ultimately led to them being better people and
I think
seeing their
so.
decisions now. And based on, hey, mom did it during rough times or not even rough times, family things and keep things together. And they see that. And so, yeah, that's a great way to start. So let me ask you then, explain to me what you mean by foundational fitness and how do people get to that? Like, what do they do to get to foundational fitness? But what is it first?
Okay, so I wanted to I think when we speak, we'll always use fitness, the acronym, right?
Right.
And what's cool is it's moldable. Like we can kind of, for each talk or season in life, we can kind of say what fitness is and means. So for this, what I really wanted to do was I always want to use fitness because it's so foundational for who we are.
So if people are watching this as their first
So,
episode,
okay, so focused, intense thought, nutrition, exercise, and sleep and supplementation.
Yeah.
Okay. So those forever it's been specific supplementation. Recently we've talked about sleep and supplementation. So those are like the foundational principles
For health.
for health.
Right.
Okay. Now, focused intense thought, that one, we can shift in different ways for what we're trying to teach, right?
Right.
Basically, it's what's most important. It's what's the focus. But when we're doing our check-ins with our clients, focused intense thought is more how was your ability to think this week?
Clarity. Right.
Right.
Things like that.
Right. So it's malleable. Is that the right
Right.
word? You
Yeah.
can shift it. So foundationally, what did you want to know, like foundational, my
So
principles of
for people out
foundation?
there, we'll get to that. What does foundation mean to them? Like, what are they trying to accomplish with foundation when it comes to fitness? And so,
So we're trying to, in each of those areas, find the place that you will never fall below.
well,
We're trying to find what is it that I can do consistently forever.
their floor, their
The
baseline,
floor,
as
the baseline.
Dr. Hardy would
This
talk
is
about, right?
this is what we do. This is we do this no matter what.
Right.
Right.
And I brought this up in our team meeting the other day at Optimal Health System. Every Monday and Friday, we get the whole staff together for 15, 20 minutes and, with product training or talk or motivational speech. And here's what's going on. Everyone be ready for this event. And I brought this up and I looked at a guy that I knew was very religious. And I'm like, so let's just give an example. And I said, what's your foundation with, do you believe in Jesus? And I knew he did, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, is that your foundation? Do you know that that's absolutely your floor? No matter what, that's it. And you'll never waver. So absolutely, like, pull my limbs apart. You'd have to do that. And I
Mm,
still wouldn't. I
yeah.
would never go below
Yeah.
that thing. And I thought that was cool because the point is trying to make is what is your foundation,
Right.
in fitness?
Yeah.
What won't you go below? Because that's a big deal, right? Like you get put in positions and whether it's eating certain foods or drinking certain things and like what is your foundation? And once you set that, after the first few times of being challenged on it, it's not hard anymore.
Yeah.
And so what is foundation for you so that people can kind of start
Okay.
figuring out what it would be for
In
them?
the context of this talk, so in the context of this talk, focused intense thought is all about your 4 or 5 focuses of this life.
Mm,
Your 4 or 5, this is what my life is. This is who I am. This is what I want to
your
like
character.
be and do and yeah, and accomplish. And so and when you and I were talking, as I was discussing what mine are, we were like, well, it's basically the 4 F's, right? So it's faith, it's family, it's fitness, faith, family, fitness,
Finances.
finances.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of those 4. And then off of those 4, things kind of branch out,
Right.
right? All the things that are most important to me. Like when we talk about like basic fitness, things that are going to stem from that are bodybuilding. Things that are going to stem from that are high rocks. When we
Right.
talk about family, the things that are going to stem from that are experiences, are just
The way
time
we teach the
together.
kids or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So they each have their own arms, but what are like in context of this talk, focused intense thought is what are your things?
What are
What
your
are your focuses? And narrowing them down to 3 to 5.
yeah.
So I just, if people want to work off ours, the 4 F's makes it really easy.
Okay, so if I'm out there and I'm saying, okay, foundation is let's just roll with faith, family, fitness, and finances,
Mhm.
right? Then what do I do with that? Okay, so now those are my important things in life,
Yeah. So
but
nothing is more important than those things.
right,
And if something comes into your life and you have an opportunity, does it fit within one of those 4
got it.
categories? Right?
Okay.
And if it does, then it's a yes. If it doesn't, it's a no.
So if it's not going to
Right?
help my fitness, not going to help my family, it's not going to help my faith, it's a no
Correct.
because that's your foundation.
Absolutely.
Got it.
So these are the things that are my foundation. And I think for the most part, people would say that. And when we're talking about finance, right? We're talking about um what's interesting with finance is that it incorporates our business and legacy and service and how, because if we've got our finances under control, we are able to make that much more impact for different people and for the business and a lasting
Yeah.
legacy, right?
Yep.
And so, anyways, okay. So,
So now a foundation, people have decided what their 3 to 5 things are,
mhm,
and then the next acronym's N for nutrition.
nutrition.
So how do you establish your foundation with nutrition?
This is where it gets a little bit tricky because in order to establish what your foundation needs to be with nutrition, you need to look at what you've been, right?
Mm,
And then you have to evaluate if it's been working for you, right? So, foundationally, for us, what's always worked is going back to the rules of the 21-day challenge, right?
right.
And so, foundationally, those are kind of where we go back. Um, and and let me preface this because there's a lot of no's in the 21-day
And
challenge.
just so
Okay.
everyone knows, you can download an app from the App Store called the Healthy Habits Tracker. It'll say OHS, Healthy Habits Tracker. Download it for free, and it'll ask for a code. You can put formulator in there, I think, or call the office and they'll give you a code. So it's free. And part of that app is a 21-day challenge. And it just is what Hillary's talking about right now. It goes through and you're going to check off things through the day that you do and don't do. And you just said a lot of them are no's, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, okay. So, before I get into that, uh, when for me, foundationally, it's two B's, right? My nutrition is going to fall under two B's. One is body fat and one is blood work. So
Mhm.
those are kind of my
So
foundational.
is the things you're eating each day, your nutrition, going to help with body fat and your blood work?
Correct.
I like that.
Correct. Okay. So, and then back to the 21-day challenge, it says no carbonation, no white flour,
No fried food
no fried foods, 50 grams or less of sugar a day, no alcohol. What else?
of the
And
nose,
those are the no's. And
right?
then the mores are
Fruits,
more fruit,
vegetables,
more raw fruits and vegetables, right? More whole foods,
or water.
less processed food, more water. Okay. So I know there's a lot of no's there, but the concept of 80/20 works brilliantly for me
As your baseline,
as my
as your
baseline
foundation.
for foundation.
Yeah.
So 80% of the time, I'm not going to have white flour, fried foods, carbonation. But you can bet 20% of the time, I'm going to. Okay. And that's because for me, what works best foundationally is knowing that there will be scenarios within my life that I just want to be a part of the moment.
Mhm.
Right. And for me, part of the moment might be having some cake at a birthday party.
Mm,
Okay. And I want to experience the whole thing. Now, for some people, that that isn't important to them, and it doesn't matter. And great, because there's times when it's a no for me.
right.
There's times in my season where it's a no, but I would like for there to be times when it's a yes,
Mm,
right? So the 80/20 principle really works for me foundationally,
okay.
but it means that there has to go a time, right, where you really live those no's and you really live the mores. Like there has to be a time frame so that you are really setting that foundation.
Yeah. And I love that because right now we're only talking about foundation when it comes to fitness, right?
Right.
And the foundation is so important. And so Hillary, her foundation is the 80/20 with nutrition. She's never going to go below that. She's not going to go where it's days and weeks, eating fried food and crap and sodas and stuff because it's her foundation is to not do that. It's 80/20,
Yeah.
right? During that season of your year, it's 80/20, right? And we'll get to the other.
Right.
So now let's go to exercise then. So people have got their 4 or 5, 3 to 5 things that are most important. They've got nutrition that they laid it out, whether it's like the 21-day challenge, and then they design of what am I not going to go below no matter what? Where's my baseline? Whether it's
Right.
80/20 or whatever. So next is the E for exercise. What's
Yes.
your
So,
foundation with it?
okay. So for exercise, it's the two M's. Okay. So we've got the four F's, we've got the two
Two
B's,
B's.
and we got the two M's. And for me, it is muscle and movement.
Mm,
Okay. So muscle and movement are vital for me. vital for me to feel my best, to think my best, to be the best wife for you, to be the best mom for my children, to be the best grandma for my kids. I know, you know, we both know that movement is vital for me and muscle is
Right.
vital
And I want to
because
point out it's not just vital for Hillary. The research is very clear that the two most important things you can do with exercise is make sure you have muscle and that you have movement. So this isn't like Hillary's thing that's for her and she made up. These are based on data and research for her own health, but also everyone. So
yeah,
everyone can
and that's the thing with body fat
benefit.
as well. It's also based on research,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're trying
And
to
blood work.
yeah, we're trying to live a long, healthy, happy life.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So for me, 3 days of strength training minimum. Okay, that is minimum minimum.
That's total baseline foundation, never going to go below.
Correct. And I don't know when I've gone below that in the last I don't know. So
25 years.
yeah. And then also 13,000 steps at least 5 days a week. Okay. Because what I've learned is there are times when we've had a good, nice rest day and my steps are a bit lower. For the most part, I'm kind of a step queen, right? Like I move a lot during the day, and that's because I don't have to sit at a desk all day long. And so 13,000 steps 5 days a week.
Awesome. And that's your foundation.
And
So
that's
for
my
everyone else,
foundation.
what is your foundation, right? The research is very clear. You need to strength train at least twice a week, or you're going to lose muscle. It affects your mind, your clarity, your happiness, everything because of myokine production. So twice a week should be for everyone out there. Their minimum. Hillary's is three. And then when it comes to movement, the research is very clear. 9,000, we say 10, the research is really at 9,000 steps a day minimum, minimum. And if you can make those steps not the same cadence, it's even better. So, fast, slow, that type thing. So just so everyone knows that should be everyone's by far and away their baseline. But for many, it's above that, right? You constantly get more steps than that or movement just because of the way you live and your habits, or you exercise more strength training wise. So however it is for you, lay the foundation with exercise with M&M, right?
Right.
Movement and muscle.
Movement and
Perfect.
muscle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's move to sleep.
Okay, this is one that you and I are still navigating,
Yeah.
right? And sleep is really important, especially for recovery and rejuvenation and all the things. So sleep is really really important. And I have always had amazing sleep. Like our whole marriage, sleep has been great for me. I have entered this new phase of life. Doug doesn't like to acknowledge this phase, but I have entered like the perimenopause phase of life. And sleep all of a sudden has become a little disrupted. So right now, as we're still trying to navigate and figure out how we can get the best night's sleep, my goal is to be in bed for 7 hours and to try to train my body and my mind to calm and to sleep for 7 hours.
Cool.
So, and we do all the things to try to make that happen. We make it as dark as possible, right? We try to be off our cell phones at least an hour before bed.
Take our sleep
We
gummies.
take our sleep take our sleep gummies. Sometimes we take a little extra calm. But that's for me right now, it's like, and even though I'm having disrupted sleep and getting up, I am training my body to go back into the bedroom, close my eyes, and be in bed and really try to
Right.
train for that 7 hours of
Absolutely.
sleep. Yeah. Okay.
And then, so you need to decide what that is for you. 7 hours is the number research shows, but with sleep is critical that you constantly work on at least. Another thing that research shows is the consistency of going to bed and getting up.
Oh, that's another thing.
And that isn't something that can happen all the time, especially in lifestyles like us. But the majority of the time, that's critical that you can
Yeah.
actually set your circadian cycle.
That was another thing. Doug and I make it a goal to be in bed um in the 9 p.m. hour for the most part.
Yeah, by 10
Last
o'clock.
night I looked at him and said, "We are getting really old." He goes, "I think we were in bed at 8:45." But that's kind of our
Right, and
goal.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
2 in the morning because I'm studying for something or
Yeah.
we're somewhere, but the majority of the time, that
Right.
9 to 10.
Right.
Yep,
Yep.
absolutely. Mhm.
Okay.
Then
And
let's go to the final S of fitness. So again, focus, intense thought,
mhm,
nutrition, exercise, sleep,
mhm.
and then supplementation.
Okay. Supplementation is I always have a custom pack. That is my bare
There.
minimum. Bare minimum, I have a
What do you mean
custom
by
pack.
custom pack?
Um, well, mine is based on my blood work,
Mhm.
right? And so we go over my blood work and what is necessary or needed, we add to our little custom pack that is 30, 60, or 90
Right.
packs.
So mainly 60 that you take morning and night. So you take
Yep.
a packet in the morning and a
Yep.
packet at night. That's a bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Now we take a lot more than
A lot more.
that.
Oh,
But there are times when we're going somewhere overnight or something like that, and we if we have to act quick, which happens sometimes, at the minimum we grab our custom
right.
packs,
Yeah.
right? Because that's our baseline, that's our
Correct.
foundation, no matter what. You're supplying your body with over 200 nutrients saturated, twice a day, morning and night. That is a baseline. And what's crazy is very few people in the nation or in the planet do that. And that really should be everyone's baseline.
Right.
Everyone's baseline because it makes a huge difference. It keeps your body becoming more healthy, reach optimal health. It lowers your risk of disease. It increases your energy, your mental clarity. It makes it so when your body needs something real quick, you're in a situation, fight or flight, or any situation that it has the nutrients to do it. It's just really should be your foundation, and it's easy.
It's easy. So custom pack, and then I will say for me, because it is, I would say, much easier for me than the vast majority of everybody else. I have a supplement drawer,
Mhm.
right? I have a drawer, and it looks like a spice rack, a spice drawer, right?
Right.
And kind of a bit like a foundational thing for me is that stocked, and whatever I'm feeling, I run in there.
And you are queen at that because Hillary will go and just look at the drawer, and because she's taken the time to know the supplement, she'll how I feel, and she'll pick. Oh, I feel I need vitamin D today. I need to help with my mind, not depression, but like my
Yeah,
mind,
no,
whatever it might
exactly.
be. And you go that route, and it's a really awesome thing to get to that point. And it's not an immediate thing, but it doesn't take long. Like you study a little bit on the formulas and that, or come to a FAM seminar or something. It's great to be able to get to that. So
And I would say foundationally as well, Adrenal
yeah,
has
it's been
become
foundation.
like a foundational.
Absolutely.
Anyways, yeah.
And
So
so, and like for us, even the NeuroFlow pack is foundational for us,
yeah.
right? Type thing and for focus. So I love that. So that's the foundation. And I think what we'll do, if you're okay, is let's go back over this again. Let's kind of have a synopsis, a summary.
Okay.
And then we're going to stop this fit bam. And then the very next one, we're going to go into the seasonal approach
Okay.
because I think it's so powerful and for people to be able to do this. So this week, commit to the
Find
foundation,
your foundation.
right? And then next week, when you watch Fit Fam, look how you then can modify that through the seasons of the year. So, foundationally, real quick again, focus, intense thought. What's the main thing that you want
Yeah.
people to
Main
do?
thing is what is your life about? Find the 3 to 5 things that your life is all about and
What you're
what
calling, what you
yeah.
believe, everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then with nutrition,
Nutrition, I believe what would be best for everyone is to live the 21-day challenge at a 80/20.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, whatever it is
But
for
I would
you,
like to say, whatever nutritionally fits for you that helps improve your blood work and you can live long term, my hands are up. Great, do
and
it.
but
You know
that's
what I
the
mean?
key. Like you got to be real about it. 1 year from now, if I keep eating the way I am, is my blood going to get better? Am I going to feel better? Am I going to be
Correct.
healthier or not? If not, right, and you can look back at your years of eating,
Well, because there's
right,
plenty of
then
people
make
that
sure
can
you're doing the
live
thing that
keto
improves.
for a lifetime. And does their blood work improve or not?
That's a tough.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't. The point is that if you're on an extreme plan that really limits or cuts out a macronutrient or something like that, then over time you will see that it's not beneficial.
Mm.
But is it? a month? Is it 6 months? Is it a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years? Like, you really need to make sure that you have a balance of macronutrients, carbs, protein, fats in their whole food form the best you can. And then what are your
And that's
absolute
why
rules?
blood work is
It's
part of
critical.
nutrition,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's what makes
That's what
that
makes it.
work so well,
Yeah,
right?
body
Because
fat
there's
in
because
the
your
blood.
blood work will never lie.
Right,
Your blood work is never going to lie. The best part is when I'm living 20% within the time frame of getting blood done, right? You
right.
know, I've had a few weeks of extras and we do blood work and you're like, what's going on here with your cholesterol? How's your gallbladder
It's a
feeling?
liver,
You
yeah.
know? And so I don't know. It's
It's good.
that's the
So
best thing.
so to
Blood
jump
work doesn't
into the
lie.
summary again, nutrition should be based on your blood work and your body fat heading the right way, and that
Correct.
foundation needs to make sure it's headed the right way.
Yeah.
That's the
And
bottom line of that.
I would say if when you're if you're just starting this, if you're just at the very beginning, you're like, well, I don't know what my foundation
Right,
is, right? Like I got to find my foundation. I think what's really powerful for a time is to not make it too hard,
right. That's what
right?
the 21-day challenge is
That's
about.
yeah, like let's not make life because obviously if it's so hard, you're never going to find your foundation. You're never going to be like, okay, this I could do. This I could do forever, right? So foundationally really if you're just at the very beginning of this and you're trying to figure out what will work for you, maybe pick two or three things on that 21-day challenge that you're like, oh yeah, I could do
Right.
that
Yeah.
forever,
And
right?
that's important, and you can work your way up.
Yeah.
I do want to make one point there if I can in closing on this. I know we need to finish up, but I we've worked with a lot of people. And, we've seen from athletes to the just people in the public every day, stay at home mom, business people like, and most of the time when they're just starting with nutrition, their belief of what they can and will do is
Mm,
so limited. It's like,
that's a
oh, I
good
couldn't
point.
go without having fried food, and I couldn't go without this and that. And I'm just not sure anyone would be a happy life, right? And they don't realize what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And so you do need to start where you're at, but challenge yourself a little bit. That's like the 21-day challenge is so cool.
Oh, it
Challenge
is.
yourself a
It's so
bit
great.
and you'd be like, wow, not only can I do it, I feel better, which makes it easier for me to not do it again, to go
Okay,
back, right?
honestly,
So you
that's the
got to push
most
yourself.
you do have to push yourself. And that is the most brilliant thing about the 21-day challenge is that I have met 0 people that at the end of that haven't gone, "I feel so much better.
Right.
I feel so much better."
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you definitely need to challenge yourself. And if you are looking for your foundational principles, maybe do the 21-day challenge.
Mhm.
And with the knowledge that, if you do that enough times, then you'll eventually be able to live the 80/20 rule,
Yeah. Your
right?
floor will be elevated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so exercise, what's the rules?
Exercise for everyone, it needs to be 2 days minimum of strength
Strength training.
training, right?
Yep.
We've all got to have that muscle for a long, healthy life. Okay.
Right.
So muscle is imperative. So 2 days a week of training. And then steps,
At
I
least 9,000.
at least 9,000. Is it 7 days a week
So based
or
on the
6 days a
research,
week?
6 days a week.
6 days a week.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah. So
ooh, I bet you love those nines and sixes.
boom.
Boom.
And then sleep
Okay. Sleep.
foundation. What's their foundation? What's the rule?
I mean, 7 is the lucky number with sleep.
Yep,
So,
find a way to get 7 hours of sleep a night. That should be our foundation.
yeah. Yeah,
Great.
and for me, and I don't know if this will work for everyone, but for me it means getting my booty in bed.
Mm,
Like it's like, well, I'm not tired. It's like, well, get in bed and your body will learn to eventually be tired or you will find the things that are making you not tired, right now you and I are doing a lot of cutting back and a
figured it
lot of
out.
like figuring out and deciding, okay, when can we have caffeine at the last time during the
Yeah.
day to have the most effective sleep.
Right.
uh what do we need to do? Do we need to have a ritual of writing and reading before
Right.
bedtime, so but yeah, 7 hours is the
Right.
lucky
And
research
then
number.
supplementation, baseline
Supplementation,
foundation.
baseline, foundation. Gosh, you need a custom pack, but we have the Advantage pack,
Yeah,
right?
we have the Advantage Pack, and the Advantage Pack has digestible in it because everyone knows what we say digestion is number one when supplementation. Well, we put it in the Advantage Pack. In fact, this morning in our meetings, I dumped an Advantage Pack into a pudding to show that it digested it, right? And we took another pack. In fact, we'll do it on a show, animal
Oh,
pack,
did you do that
and
today?
did it, and it just got solid, like it made it worse. So
That's
funny.
amazing.
So bottom line is digest your food, whether you take digestive meal and a custom pack. We have an Advantage Pack that's basically all you need to know is male or female is a baseline for everyone. Or just know that it's in there. So worst case scenario, Advantage Pack, custom pack,
Yeah, because the
more
Advantage
than enough.
Pack basically is covering the bare minimums, that we all need as women, we all need as men.
Mhm.
If you're somebody that at this point in time cannot get your blood work done,
Right.
it's a beautiful place to start.
Beautiful. So love this. Foundation is such the key to life. What is your foundation? What are your principles? What do you stand by? What sword are you going to die on type thing, like
Yeah,
when it comes to your health and fitness,
yeah,
and lay those out. So if you haven't done that, get your foundation, something that you're going to do forever, that's solid, that's going to lead you up the ladder to optimal health, no matter what. And then we have those special seasonal times that we'll get in the next episode.
that one's
So
fun.
stay tuned. Always remember to like, follow us. And as always, this is Miss Natural Olympia Hillary.
And this guy right here is Doug the Formulator.
Keep chewing.
I'll do the peace sign. Wait,
Now.
wait. I need to stretch a minute.
All right. Ready?
Okay,
Here we go.
here we go.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. This is actually part two of Hillary's talk, talking about foundational consistency and seasonal precision. And we're going to get into seasonal precision right now. You don't want to miss us. But as always, click the little bell, follow us, get notified when new episodes come out. And this is Miss Natural Olympia Hillary.
And this guy right here is Doug the Formulator.
So, real excited because, we're talking about the talk you're going to give at Super Seminar, and we'll have given by the time this comes out, I think,
Yeah,
but is such a foundational piece of the entire seminar that everything's coming back to that, because there are people that are coming there are either people that have had this foundation in their clinics or personal life solid, and now they're just figuring out all these seasons, of life with business and where they're at and their goals and family, and they're going to be able to listen to the foundation part if they're just getting started, or the ones that have been at it for a long time with their health and fitness, whether it be in their business or personal, are going to be able to go to the things that you're going to teach about seasonal precision and the seasons life. So I'm really excited to get into that. So if you don't know about the foundational principles of fitness that we talked about, go back and watch the episode previous to this. But let's jump into, how did you come up with this whole seasonal precision anyways, and what is it?
yeah. I think it started kind of becoming this thing that I was just thinking about all the time. And like I said in the other episode, how why have seasons of bodybuilding worked so well
Mhm.
for us and for me and for my fitness? How come I keep coming back to it, right? What makes it so great?
Yeah, works so
And
well.
then yeah, it worked so well. And then it really got me thinking about like the seasons of life, and it got me thinking about um seasons in general, and biblical speaking seasons,
Right.
and how there's a time and a place for all things, and there's a purpose. And so it really got my mind going, that I wanted to talk about. Originally, I wanted to talk about seasonal obsession, but the more I kind of thought about it, it was more like a narrowed in, just
Focus,
seasonal focus. So
precision.
precision.
Right. I like that.
Okay. So when we're talking about that, my point with that was that in your focused, intense thought, your 3 to 5 things that are who you are, there will be times in life when one of them becomes paramount. They're all
Right.
important, but one takes your
Right. So
focus the
if you have
most.
yours, right, faith, family, fitness, and finance, what you're saying is that there's times in life, either by choice or by just it happened,
Yeah.
you've got to focus on one of those more than
Yes.
the other, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And if life doesn't make you, you should have it be a part of your choice to
Yeah.
be diving deeper in one of those. So you're always progressing, right?
Right.
So we talked about the foundation that no matter what, you're going to progress over time, but it might be 1%, 2%, 3%, but that's great. But there are times that as you choose to narrow your focus on one of your foundational principles, that you can actually accelerate the growth of that specific area,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go through that seasonal precision then when it comes to anything else you want to say about that though?
I don't know if you want me to kind of hit like the whole I think the seasons of
Let's
the
talk about
earth
season. You talked about
are really
biblical and that. What do
interesting.
you mean by
Yeah.
that?
So like rest. So winters. What is winter's purpose? Right. Rest and reset. It's colder, shorter days, slow growth, and kill
Mm,
many pests. Right. So which allows the soil and living things to recover. Moisture builds as snow or rain. That will later feed the next season.
okay.
Okay.
So we
So
have the
then we
winter.
jump into spring, and it's all about wake up and renewal. Longer days, rising temperatures, they melt snow, warm the ground, and trigger seeds, buds, animals to start growing and reproducing. Winter's stored moisture then becomes available for spring, right? And then summer is all about growth and abundance. So it's like peak sunlight, peak warmth. So then there's rapid plant growth, flowering, and food production. Energy stored in fruits and seeds, and then animals fat for the seasons ahead, right?
Right.
And then we go into fall, autumn, and it's all about harvest and preparation. And days shorten and temperatures drop, and it's signaling plants to ripen and for seeds to drop and leaves to fall and animals to gather food and migrate. And the landscape now sheds what's no longer needed, and it builds its reserves. And then we head into winter again. So for me, it's like there's purpose in seasons, and they feed the next season of life, right? They feed what is coming next. So when we talk about, for me, the one thing that I could narrow it in that makes it really applicable is like bodybuilding season.
Mm,
Okay. So which of the focus intense thoughts is that? That's my fitness.
right.
And we get like laser beam focused on what we're doing. And so what does it mean to become seasonal in fitness for me? So that means that my vision of my physique now changes, right? And becomes everything that I'm capable of building. Nutrition is no longer 80/20, right? Nutrition is not 80/20 anymore. Nutrition is maybe 99/1. Like nutrition is on point. It has to be
Has to
for
be.
for this season of life. Um, what does that means? Everything is tracked. Everything that I consume is tracked.
Meal
Everything needs to
prepping
be prepped. Yeah. So every single macro that I consume has a purpose
during that
for
season,
my
which is
ultimate
getting
goal
ready
and
for
focus.
bodybuilding show,
Right,
right?
right. And
Okay.
then exercise. So now it's not just about being in the gym 3 days a week and make sure I'm weight training. It's about a specific detailed plan, that's like based on muscle building. And like it basically means no less than 120 minutes in the gym
Yeah.
almost every single
So
day.
at least 2 hours in the gym every day.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
different
Maybe
than your
one day a week
foundation.
that we get to like take it really easy, but yeah. And and this is kind of where I talk about the importance of a coach, because there should be seasons in our life where we have a coach, and the importance of having a coach that makes you not mildly but massively uncomfortable, and so that new growth can happen. So
Like we talked about, you have to push it to know what the body's capable of, and everything in you is gonna say, "Don't push it," because it wants comfort, right?
right.
But it doesn't know that the comfort at the next level is so much greater, and you have to push through that. So I love the concept of the coach in each area. And sometimes you can be blessed and have a coach that says, okay, right now in this season of precision, it's nutrition. So I'm going to get you there. Now it's a season, of accountability or family. So I can help you there. But there's very few of those. Usually you need to have your coaches ready for what you've chosen for that season, right?
Yeah, and coaches, well, that's the thing. It's like in this context, we're talking about a coach, a bodybuilding coach,
Right.
right? That's the
Nutrition
that's
exercise.
the context that we're talking about. But there are other seasons of your life where like business becomes paramount, and you need a coach that will help you to get to the next level in your
Right.
business or finances, right?
Same with family,
Same
maybe
with
a family
family.
coach or
Yeah. Or
marriage
a
coach
marriage
or
counselor
whatever.
or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Right. So I just want to hit this really quickly because it's interesting that this was the year that I chose to switch coaches again. Right.
Mhm.
And we're talking about, you know, seasonal precision and uncomfortability. And what could be more uncomfortable than hiring your child who you taught and reared and now having to zip your mouth and listen to the things that they tell you when they tell you no and tell you what you're going to do. So honestly, when I was like, okay, you know what? And I loved my previous coach, and she still does some things for me, like in the mental space. But I knew for me that what would be really important is to get massively
Mhm.
uncomfortable again with a coach. And I had already found a lot of comfortability with my previous coach. And so as I was really pondering and trying to decide, one, whether I was going to compete or not this year, two, how I would want to get there, three, what I would want it to look like, it was like, when am I most uncomfortable? And in the gym training, I'm most uncomfortable when it's Nevaeh in the gym with me because she makes me train
Heavier.
heavier than I want to,
Right.
right? And it's massively uncomfortable, but that was kind of the point.
So,
And then you know, she and I don't always agree on everything that she has in my plan. Okay? So there's times that I'll ask her a question and she'll answer it and I'll still disagree, but it doesn't matter because she's the coach I've
right.
chosen.
So it's
Okay?
important to have a coach at different
Yeah.
seasons, right?
Yep.
Especially when you're getting into your precision, seasonal precision, like you talked
Correct.
about.
Yeah,
All right.
it's imperative.
And so that's the
Okay.
exercise that you're, when it's time for that season to kick in, it goes up tremendously from your, I think your baseline is 3 days a week strength training, right?
Right.
And 13,000 steps a day. So whatever your foundation is, now it's time.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you're in that seasonal precision, um, what is the deal with the last part of it? Sleep and supplementation. So sleep
Yeah. So, sleep is the same. We're still trying to get that 7 to
minimum of
8
7.
hours
Yeah.
minimum. But now what happens when we're in this season is that I have to pay very close attention to how I'm feeling and if this is going to sound kind of silly, but if a nap is required
Yep.
in a day, because
Absolutely.
there are times when it is so that I can hit the next workout like I have to, like I'll
Right.
need to. So, naps actually kind of become part
Part
of
of the
this
seasonal
season.
precision.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about supplementation? Your
And then,
baseline's a custom pack, like Advantage pack. In your case, it's deeper because of blood work.
yeah. Well,
How crazy does it get?
what I put, which is kind of funny because I'm a natural bodybuilder, but I put supplements on steroids because I take everything. And what's most important during this time is I'm taking all of the extra ergogenic
Mhm.
products that will help me get to
Right.
where I need to go. So
Right. And
we are
Muscle
into the
RX,
creatines, we are
BFF,
into
creatine.
muscle RX, we are into the protein powders. Um, you know,
A
I'll bet,
lot of very specific things that we just do for you,
yeah,
right? Your lithium and A and all these
yes,
different things. Yeah.
yeah, just it gets very, very, very specific.
Right.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
lot of it.
And a lot of it. Yeah,
And that,
I take a lot of supplements
yeah.
in
And I think
in
it's
the
it's
bodybuilding
great to
season.
have you be the example for this because even like my seasonal precision never goes that far. Okay. Because I'm not going to compete on stage in that. But it's like for you all, you have your baseline of fitness, right? Of your focus, intense thought, your nutrition, your exercise, your sleep and supplementation we talked about in the last episode. But everyone should pick and treat their year kind of like Hillary does. It's a little bit easier because there's a show. She got to get ready for it,
Right.
right? But what about for the rest of us that aren't, pro athletes and that? Well, hey, why not go off of what you said? Spring. All right. Probably going to be somewhat a little bit more around water or swimsuit in the summer. And so why not make that your time? Okay, I'm going to kick it in even at a higher level. My
Well,
nutrition's going up, my exercise is going up, my
yeah.
supplementation's going up. and I'm going to get leaner than normal, right?
Yeah.
Going back to your body fat and blood thing.
I love a physical goal for everyone, but let's transition that. Let's change it to for you with your focus intense thought when business and growth in business becomes your paramount,
Mhm.
that's what's most important in our lives at that time. Well, then with nutrition, it's like highly nutrient dense foods because your brain is on hyperdrive, and so you need like the most bang for your buck when you're talking about nutrients. Lots of raw snacks because
Right.
you're at the office longer and you need
Yeah.
something
Even time
to
to eat
go. Even
is
time to eat.
lessened. Right.
Yes. Dinners maybe later because of your late schedule. And if that's the case, the later the dinner, the more digestible the dinner needs to be, right? So even for you in business, nutrition changes, right?
Mhm.
You
For
have
sure.
your foundation, but that's how we adjust. Exercise when you're in your like when we're focused on business growth, your exercise looks a little bit different. Sometimes it means early mornings and you're in there with
Right.
Marley. Sometimes it means you're on your workout equipment in your office
That's right.
here in between meetings,
Right.
right? And so it just looks different because your
It's a really
time
good
frame is
point.
different,
Right.
right?
And
Um,
and what's cool about that, that we didn't talk about, maybe you're going to, but even like say it's during a family focus, like your time's family. Um, some of the best times to cultivate family to get it to another level is family dinners. So hey, you know what? We're in the season, of precision for family right now. And part of that is we're going to have dinner every night. So it forces the family to have to be there, right?
yeah.
That type of thing. So that could be part of the nutrition part if your precision at the moment season of the year is you decided family's number one and
Yeah,
we're going to work on it. You can work family into all those.
all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Exercise for us.
when family becomes kind of the hyper focus of the season, which it does for me,
Mm,
and it will for me in the next couple of months are going to be tricky for us as we navigate two new babies in our life, and helping out with
mm,
our other grandkids while we all transition. But family will then become paramount, so we'll have to manage all of the
yeah,
other parts. But exercise becomes with the little ones, right?
exactly.
And it's jumping on the trampoline. It's a ton of movement with them outside doing walks and all the things. So, yeah, it just everything can play off of each other, right?
Absolutely.
And if we have our foundation that we never fall below, then we'll continue to be healthier even through these massive seasons of growth in a different area,
Love that.
right?
And seasonal precision. I love that the point being is you really should pick a time during the year, during the season of a year, to focus on each of your 3 to 5
Yeah.
foundational focus intense thought major character principles so you can have growth in those areas
Mhm.
above and beyond just a small amount.
Yeah.
And just look at your calendar, yourself or as a couple, as a family, and say, okay, this is going to be the season that we focus on our nutrition at a high level or
Yeah.
actual fitness type thing. This is where we're focused on the family. This is where we're going to focus on our faith, whatever it might be, and then design each of these areas, focus, intense thought, nutrition, exercise, sleep, supplementation to that,
Right.
and be willing to push through the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. So seasonal precision is short-lived, different times based on your goals. And if it doesn't come up either with life or you've designed it because like bodybuilding, work it in.
Yeah, and the thing about seasonal is we have to understand that sometimes it's really short-lived, but seasonal, sometimes it's a long stretch, right?
Mhm.
When you're a young family and you're trying to build a career
Yeah.
as you have a young family, there's going to be a season where you have to hyperfixate on family, you have to hyperfixate
Yeah.
on
It
business.
might not be months, might be
Right,
years.
it might be years. And so but understanding that there is a season,
Right.
right, for everything and becoming, you know, precise in every season if we have
Absolutely.
the foundation is going to make
Yeah.
a big
I
difference.
think that this talk and your, coming to this is huge. I feel a book coming from that. But
Oh,
anyways,
really? Okay,
I
I like
think I
that.
think it's just powerful for people. So now that they have their foundation and they understand the importance of the precision, seasonal precision,
Mhm.
no matter how long that is, lay it out. What's your final wisdom and teaching to people to put it together? What does people need to do? They've got their foundation already.
Well, I think, oh, they've got
Yeah,
foundation
because they've
already?
already got it before they come to this episode. Now they're about
Make big goals,
season of
man.
pursuit.
Have like
There you go.
ginormous goals, and make sure you have goals in every part of your 3 to 5 focused intense thoughts, right?
Mhm.
So for me, I have big goals with family, I have big goals for finance, I have big goals for fitness, and I have big goals for
Okay.
faith. Okay. And big goals. And what can I do to support all of those? And
And
if I
get
have,
uncomfortable with each one.
yeah, and getting uncomfortable. And then I have just a few tips and
Love
tricks.
it. So
Okay. So, when we're talking about focused, intense thought and really getting our mind right in the day, I think you need a win and you need a quick
mhm,
win. Okay. And for me, the quickest win for me when I wake up is to make my bed. I know that sounds so crazy, but it's the quickest win. And then I just can stack other wins on
love
top of
that.
it. So quick win, make your bed. Um, for me as well, sauna, a sauna really helps to clear my mind.
Mhm.
It gives me a focused time where I really listen to motivational things. Today it was Kobe Bryant. It was also Myron Golden. So moments where I can just almost meditation moments.
Mhm.
You can do it without anything else in your ears and just take 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes and really focus on what we're trying to do and create. Also, AI now is a great tool to create a beautiful vision for what you're wanting,
Absolutely.
right? So, uh, just the other day, I I had AI create my physique with more muscle. Now, will I ever be able to look like that naturally? Probably not, but it's a great thing for me to be striving towards
Yeah.
and to shift my mindset with, oh, how am I going to have to eat if I want if I want muscle like that,
Mhm.
right? So and then journaling is really important for
Mhm.
that.
It's a big one.
With nutrition for me, what has always helped me is paying attention to fat. Where is my fat coming from? How much of it am I getting in? Right. Something that I like to talk about. I hope Dr. Janine's good with this, but we had a conversation one time, and she, was really thinks she's doing all kinds of good at because she was just snacking on nuts all day. Raw nuts,
Yeah.
which are very good for you. But if you're only snacking on nuts all day, your
Fat
amount of
content.
fat is just going through the roof, right? Because fat has per bite twice the amount of calories
Mhm.
as carbs
Right.
or protein. So pay attention to fat. Try to have something raw with every meal if it's possible. It can get as slim as like cilantro on it or green onions, but really try to have something raw with every meal. And then protein prepped has always been a big help for me
Right.
is prepped protein.
Which seems to be tough for a lot of people. Like they know they need to get their protein up. They haven't had any for the day or whatever. But what's a quick just protein snack? So that is really important.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Yeah. Really, really important. And then for exercise, get moving in the morning.
Mm.
Movement changes
I
everything.
love the thing with that, the 20-second rule. Anything you can do to speed things up even 20 seconds or make it only
Mm,
takes 20
make it
seconds to
easier.
do. Like for us, we have our gym, behind our house, but even to laying out what you're going to wear to the gym or to
I
work
agree.
out in where you work out.
I
So it's
agree.
there and you're like, oh, okay, it's there. Like some people even sleep in it if they work out in the morning,
Yeah.
right? But the point is putting those things in front of you so it's harder not to do it.
Yeah. And my rule with myself is I always have to start. It can't be one of those things where I'm like, I just don't feel like it, so I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
There's plenty of times where we don't feel like it, but I have to start, and I will negotiate with myself. But negotiating a start isn't one.
Mhm.
The start has to happen. But after I start, I will negotiate with myself. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, I will finish every workout and I will finish every run. Uh, and what I mean about negotiating is I'll get on the treadmill and I'll start and I'll tell myself, 3 minutes. Just stay on it for 3 minutes, Hillary. You can do 3 minutes. Okay, I can do 3 minutes. All of a sudden, 3 minutes in, some endorphins are starting to get released, and I'm feeling a little bit better. And I'm like, okay, you can stay on. You don't have to run today. If running feels too hard, you don't have to run, but you just have to speed walk. Okay, Hillary, you can speed walk. And so then I start speed walking, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, I feel pretty good. Okay, Today I'm going to do like 1 minute of running and then I'll come back down. So negotiations can happen with yourself if you start, but they can never happen if you don't start.
And you can't negotiate below your
And
foundation.
you cannot negotiate below your foundation.
Okay.
Okay. And then sleep. Calm has been a really big game changer for me.
Sleep
Sleep
gummies,
gummies have been a really big game
light
changer.
in the room.
Light in the room. I've noticed some days when I just can't seem to calm, that a warm bath will do a lot for me, for just to calm everything down. And then a big one that both Doug and I are realizing right now is pay attention to the last time that you have caffeine
Yeah,
in a day.
for
If
sure.
you're a caffeine taker, really pay attention, and you might have to start taking your last
All
amount
right.
of caffeine earlier.
So, any tips on supplementation?
Yes, make it. What's funny is if you have your supplements, they should be the easiest thing, right?
Right.
Right.
It's
So
easy to do, it's easy not to
easy
do.
not to do. So make it even easier. Have your supplements everywhere. And I mean everywhere. I have supplements in my car. I have supplements in my purse. I have them on my nightstand. I have them in my kitchen.
I'm in the drawer.
I have them in the
Yep.
drawers. I have them in bags that I don't use on a daily basis, but I travel with, so that there's never a reason that I don't take them.
Yeah, that's a great way. Have them everywhere is a great
Yeah.
tip for people. And I think, with the supplementation too, it's really critical to understand that tip is so huge. Like I have everything I have at home, I have at the office,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's a great one. Didn't even think
Yeah.
about it, but that is what we do.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, so everyone, the key here is happy, healthy, long life is dependent on your habits. And the key to having great habits is to have foundational non-negotiables in your life. And then once you have those non-negotiables, then you have seasonal precision and pick the times during the year or years that you're going to focus. And everyone in your life knows that's what your focus is. Everyone knows when Hillary, over the tops, it turns a hat and it's time for bodybuilding to kick in full out. And everyone acts differently, supports, and it's a different vibe. It's a fun vibe. It's a different vibe, but it's fun in its own way. And but everyone knows it, and I think that's important too with the seasonal precision. Let everyone know what the focus is. You don't have to tell them exactly what you're doing, but hey, right now in my life,
Oh,
my faith is most important to me. So you're gonna see me maybe a little extra in that, or it's
well,
fitness itself, or whatever it is.
the most important people in your life should know what season you're in,
Yeah.
right? They should know what season you're in. And on top of a coach, the other thing that we have talked about, that's really important, is an accountability partner,
Mm.
right? I live with an accountability partner, right? You live with one. I think we're pretty good at holding each other
Absolutely
accountable to
together.
the things that we say we're going to do. But also in the gym, beyond my coach, beyond my trainer, I also have an accountability partner. Ashley and I have lifted together for how many years?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably pushing a decade,
Yeah.
really, like, and consistently trained together. But she's my accountability partner. She knows what time we're going to work out
Right. Yeah.
every day, and the days where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this part of the workout, she's like, no, you are, you can do it. And so it's important to have that person that will hold you accountable in the
100%.
moment.
That's great. So I'm really excited about how this is going to help transform lives at the Super Seminar and even past it. Love to hear your comments on your foundational fitness and then your seasonal precision as you
And
go
how do we
through.
feel about this setup?
Oh, new podcast setup. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Let us know.
And there's a reason Doug's over there,
Shout out to
because
Hunter,
he
by the
looks
way.
bigger. Like he it makes him look bigger because he's like closer to the camera, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
I feel
just
like
it's what it is.
I feel like I should get over there.
But it is great. Appreciate
It does
Hunter
look
setting
really
this
great.
up.
Yeah.
And
It's nice.
yeah, please let us know your thoughts. We love comments on FitFam more than anything. Let us know what you'd like to hear. Again, hit the little button down below to subscribe and know when different episodes come out. As always, this is Miss Natural Olympia Hillary.
And this guy right here is Doug the Formulator.
Keep chewing.